Good morning, guys and girls. Welcome to another video. What's today, Tuesday?
Yeah, it's Tuesday.
Yes. So over the weekend on eBay, we almost got scammed, or I almost got scammed. So I wanted to talk to you guys about that in this video. And then I'm also going to talk about some other common scams on eBay and how to avoid them. I think this video will be super helpful to not just beginner eBayers, but also people who are more advanced, because the scams are changing all the time. And there are definitely scammers on eBay. So you need to know what to look out for and how to avoid getting scammed. But before we do that, we got to give away that $200 from the last video. And then I want to tell you about how to enter to win $300 in this video. So this makes me so happy because you guys are awesome and you liked Laura's comment again, back up to the top. She got 135 likes on her comment, so kind of blew it out of the water. And everybody read Laura's situation. You know, she's going through chemo right now. She's a really, really awesome person. She's been subscribed to our channel for a while, and she's always commenting, and we just love her so much. So thank you guys so much for liking that comment. She's trying to get an Apple Watch, and she won $100 in the last video, and I'm about to send her another $200. So she should almost be able to get her Apple Watch at that price. Actually, you know what? Let me look at something really quick. Let's see. How much are Apple Watches? Apple Watch Series 6 from $399. So she won $100 in the last video. $200.
So she's at 3.
You know what? I'm going to send her $300.
Oh, snap.
Yeah. I'm going to send her $300 so she gets $400 for the watch.
There you go.
She deserves it. Yeah, cool. So congrats again to Laura. So in today's video, we're going to make it random. So Laura won the Fast 2, which is awesome, but we want to randomize it so that more people can win as well. So in this video, all you have to do is like this video, be subscribed to our YouTube channel, and then leave a comment. Any comment you want, it doesn't matter, because this one's about, like, you know, kind of scams on eBay. If you want to leave a situation that you've been through on eBay, or on any other platform, so that the community can get an idea of like what to avoid, because I'm not going to be able to talk about everything that happens on eBay today. But if you want to leave a comment about that, feel free, but you don't have to. Just leave a comment, like the video, and be subscribed. And then in the next video, we're just going to do a random comment generator, and whoever gets picked will win $300. So like the video, subscribe, and comment. And now let's jump over to the studio, and I'll tell you about this scam situation. All right, so let's talk about this scam that happened to me over the weekend. So here's what happened. On Sunday, May 9th, which was Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day, by the way, to all the moms out there. On May 9th, I got a nice little ding on my phone, that little cha-ching that said your item had sold. And the item that sold is this really cool 1994 tie-dye Pink Floyd Division Bell vintage t-shirt. It sold for full price, which was almost $400, like $395. So I was like, yay, sweet. A full price sale on a vintage t-shirt is rare, because we have best offers on everything, and we do accept best offers. But anyway, the item sold for $395, and then payment was received. So they actually did pay for the item. But then about 2 minutes later, I get a message from an eBay, or from the buyer, from the account that bought the item. I get a message on eBay. So I click on that message, and this is what it says. Hi, I just forgot to change my delivery address. My bad. Bought this for my brother. Can you please reroute to my brother's address? Thank you. So now here's the thing. Address mistakes do happen on eBay. We've actually had legitimate mistakes happen where buyers forget to change something on their address, and we do have to send it to a different address. That's happened to us a handful of times, and it hasn't been a scam. It's been a legitimate issue. And if you have it in the messages from eBay, if you have it in there documented, it's not them contacting you off of eBay and saying ship it to this address. If it's in the eBay messages, you are still covered under seller protection. So we've had that happen before, where a buyer said, hey, can you change it to this address and ship it to this address in the eBay Messenger system? And we've contacted eBay and said, hey, is this okay? And eBay said, yes, it's fine, as long as it's documented in the messages. The other thing is, this particular buyer had 260 positive feedback. So it's not like they were a brand new buyer. So I didn't think it was a scam. I gave them the benefit of the doubt, and I said, sure, no problem. What is the address change? So the next message they sent me was the address with the name on it, the address, and then in the messages, as well. They said, can you please change invoice for $35? So now that was a red flag to me, because typically when that happens, when somebody asks you to change the price that the item actually sold for, that means it's going overseas and they don't want to pay import duties. Even though they gave me a California address, I'm assuming they're wanting the item to go overseas. They wanted to show as a $35 price instead of a $400 price, so that they can kind of skirt those import duty fees when it gets to whatever country they're in. So that was the first real red flag. The first red flag was the change of address, but like I said, that happens. The second major red flag is this, can you please change the invoice to $35? So now my response to that message was, I don't mind shipping to the address that you gave me, but I'm not changing anything on the invoice because it's against eBay's policies. eBay does monitor the messages that come through, so you never want to say anything that's against eBay's policies. Okay, so the next message that I got from this buyer said, okay, can you please take a picture of the shirt? Question mark. So now it's really weird, right? The English is bad coming through, which it's not a big deal, but they're asking for a picture of the shirt when the listing has 10 pictures of the item. So that's a huge red flag. I don't know exactly what they were trying to do there, but they asked for a picture of the shirt. So now there's multiple weird, sketchy things going on, and I just didn't want to deal with a probably scammer. So the next message that I sent back was, there's 10 pictures in the listing. You're being sketchy. I'm canceling the order. And then I went ahead and canceled the order. Their next message back to me was, no cancel. Why you cancel? I'm sorry for inconvenience. So at this point, I'm like fairly certain that it was an attempted scam. I didn't know exactly what the scam around it was, but I knew it was probably someone trying to get the item for free. So flash forward about 10 minutes and I get 5 high priority flagged messages from eBay from MC0110 Account Security Communication Partner. And they're all warning messages, and here's what they say. Our records show that you recently contacted or received messages from, I'm going to blank out the actual eBay username here. I don't want to share it because it says, this account was recently found to have been accessed by an unauthorized third party who may have used the account in an attempt to defraud other members. So it looks like this is a legitimate eBay account, so I don't want to share it and everybody go block that account. But it was hacked. It was hacked and accessed by an unauthorized third party. This is direct from eBay. This is what they're saying. They also said they've taken action to restore this account to the original owner, but wanted to let you know to be suspicious of any communication you may have received from them. So here's eBay actually saying, this is legitimate. This was a scam. Hey, good move by canceling the order. Also, don't accept any more communication from this buyer at this time. So that was comforting to know, like, we made the right decision on that. But it was very, very sketchy, and I just wanted to share that experience with you. There's also, in this communication email from eBay, they sent through some safety tips. It says, if you sold and shipped an item to a fraudulent buyer, contact the carrier you used to ship the item. You might be able to receive additional assistance from the shipping service. If it was sent through the United States Postal Service, you may want to file mail fraud charges, and then they give you a link on where to file those charges. So if you've shipped something out and you have the tracking number and you get a message like this and you know that it's going to a potential scammer, more than likely, sometimes you can contact the Postal Service and they can intercept the package and get it back to you before it gets to the scammer. They also say, obviously, not to send any money outside of eBay. Don't send any, PayPal information. Don't send any wire transfers or anything like that. Make sure that you have reported the potential scammer and block them if needed, and just take precaution if anything like this happens in the future. But anyway, I wanted to share that on this particular item because it's a common scam, right? Someone's account got hacked. They actually did pay for the item. So in a lot of cases, if eBay doesn't catch it, right? If they don't catch it and you don't see these messages, it shows as a paid for item. So you see it as a sale. It shows as a paid for item. You have a shipping address in there. They've asked you to ship to another address, which, like I said, does happen sometimes. You ship it out to that address, and then their payment ends up bouncing, or it's a fraudulent charge, and you never get the money, and the scammer gets the item. It's a horrible thing, and it's very annoying to deal with, especially if it gets to the point where you've already sent the item out. And that's the main reason why I wanted to make this video, to show you that it's a common scam that happens, and here's hopefully a few ways on how to avoid it. The one thing that you can do to avoid it immediately is only ship to verified registered addresses on eBay. If someone asks you to change your address, you can just say, hey, I can't change the address on eBay. What I can do is cancel the order, and then you can repurchase it again and change your address and checkout. I think that's typically the safest way to do it. Like I said, we have shipped to addresses outside of that verified one if we have messages from the buyer on eBay. But if you're at all a little bit sketched out by them sending a message like that, that's what I suggest you do. Cancel the order and have them rebuy it. If they don't end up rebuying it, then you know that it was probably a scam. So like I said, hopefully that helps a few of you out. I want to talk about 4 more common scams that happen on eBay. But before I do that, I just wanted to say thank you again to the sponsor of today's video, Payability. Today's video is being sponsored by an awesome company that we've worked with for the past few years. The name of the company is Payability. And since 2016, they provided over $3.5 billion of funding to e-commerce sellers. The cool thing about Payability is that they provide funding based on your sales history and your account health, not based on your credit. So they don't do any credit checks. They just look at your past sales and they go, okay, this is a good, healthy account. We can work with the seller. They work with people who sell on multiple different platforms like Amazon, Walmart, Shopify, even eBay Managed Payments now. They work with those sellers too. And their main service is accelerated payments for those sellers who sell on platforms that have a delayed payout schedule. So for example, you may sell some stuff on Amazon and then you don't actually get that money for the next 2 weeks. So that's where Payability steps in. They can accelerate those payouts for you. They do also provide capital advances. So if you have like a bunch of inventory that you need to buy, Payability can provide some capital advances so you can go and buy that inventory and then again, sell it on the platforms that you're selling on. But again, their approval is not based on credit check. It's based on past sales performance. So if you want to work with Payability or if you want to check them out, I'll leave a link in the description of this video. If you do end up using their service and you find that it works well for you, you get a $250 sign-up bonus for using the link in the description of this video. So thanks again to Payability for sponsoring this video, and thanks again to you guys for allowing them to sponsor this video, and they're the only reason why we're able to do this awesome giveaway. So thanks again, and let's get back to today's video. So now let's talk about some other common scams that do happen on eBay. I'm going to talk about scams on the seller's part, like towards the seller, not towards the buyer. Obviously, there are scams that happen where it's the seller's fault, so the seller is scamming the buyer. But in today's video, because most people who watch our YouTube channel they're more eBay sellers than they are buyers, so I'm going to talk about seller scams mostly today. So the first out of the 4 that I want to touch on is the non-delivery scam. So what that is I take an item and I ship it to the buyer. It has tracking and everything. It gets to the buyer, but then the buyer opens a case on eBay saying that they never received the item. So in that case, if you have a tracking number, and again, it's delivered to the address that the buyer gave when they checked out, so the verified address on eBay, if you ship it to that address, if it has the tracking number and it shows as delivered, typically eBay is going to side with the seller. So you are protected under eBay's seller protection there. If it shows as delivered with a tracking number to the address the buyer gave, eBay, in what I've seen in 99% of cases, is going to side with the seller. And if they don't side with the seller, you're still going to be able to keep your money and they're going to refund the buyer. So in either case, you're still protected where your money is not going to be taken away. One big tip that I can give you around that potential scam is we always add signature confirmation to items that are more valuable. So for us, if it's over $150, it gets signature confirmation. And we'll put that in the listing as well, that this item will be shipped with signature confirmation. So what that does is make sure that the buyer has to sign for the item at their registered address. They can't say like, hey, it was left on my porch and was stolen, or it was delivered to my neighbor. If it has signature confirmation on it, they have to physically get the package and sign for it. And as soon as that's done, it's like set in stone. There's no way that they can try to scam you out of that using that non-delivery scam. Okay, so another very popular scam that these eBay scammers like to run is trying to pay for the item outside of eBay. So in that case, what will happen is typically they'll make an offer on the item and then they'll purchase it and not pay for the item. And then you'll get a message from them saying, hey, text me here or email me here to receive the payment. And then at that point, they'll want to do something like send you an e-check through PayPal, or send you a money order in the mail, or send you a check in the mail, something like that outside of eBay. And they'll want you to send them the item while that payment is processing or while that money order is in the mail. I know it can seem like that's an obvious scam. How could anybody fall for that? But you have to remember as well, these These scammers are typically targeting newer eBay sellers, and some people just don't know how the system works. And also remember that that is how eBay used to work back in the day. You were allowed to receive money orders in the mail and then ship the item out. So because eBay is an older e-commerce site, there's been changes that have been made over the years, and some people aren't aware of those changes. But today, that is a scam. If anybody tries to send you money outside of eBay, or not through the payment processor on eBay, if they want to send you a money order or a check or something, just know that that is a scam, and just cancel the order and report the buyer. The same thing can happen with the third scam that I want to talk about, which is overpayment. So if you have an item with best offer on, let's say you have it listed for $100 at best offer, the scammer may offer you $150 for the item, so that you're like, oh wow, they're offering more money than I have it listed for. Of course I'm going to accept that offer. But again, what they're trying to do in that case is the exact same thing as the other one. They're trying to pay for the item with an e-check that's going to bounce before you realize it, and you've already shipped the item out, and then you have no money and you don't have the item. So again, in 99.99% of cases, if you have an item with best offer on it and you get an offer for more than what the item is listed for, go ahead and decline the offer and report the buyer. Have there been instances where it is a legitimate offer and the buyer is just being nice and they know that you underpriced it and they're offering you more money for it? Yes, but that's that 0.01% that I talked about. That's why it's 99.99%, not 100%. But again, in the vast majority of cases, if you get an offer that's more than what you have it listed for, that's typically a scam. And then the last one that I want to talk to you about, which still happens to us, believe it or not, is a feedback extortion scam. So what that is a buyer receives an item that's exactly as described. It's exactly what you sold them. And that buyer reaches out to the seller and says, hey, I got the item. This is what's wrong with it. If you don't refund me, I'm going to leave you negative feedback. Or if you don't partially refund me, I'm going to leave you negative feedback. So that is called negative feedback extortion, and it's 100% against eBay's policies. If you have a message from a buyer like that, all you have to do is contact eBay and say, hey, this person is trying to extort me for a refund or a partial refund. They said that they're going to leave negative feedback if I don't do A and B. As soon as eBay sees that, if there's an open case on eBay, they'll close it. And if the buyer does leave you negative feedback, they'll remove it. So we've actually had that happen before, where a buyer will leave negative feedback first and then reach out to us and say, hey, if you send me a partial refund for this amount, I'll remove the negative feedback. That is feedback extortion. It's 100% against eBay's policies. And if you contact eBay, they will side with the seller 100% of the time. Now, that being said, obviously there are cases where the buyer is in the right there. And if something is wrong with the item and you need to offer some sort of a partial refund, you can do that. Or again, if you have a return policy in place, just tell them to return the item. But if it's a clear example of feedback extortion just to get a refund, then that's when you would want to, again, reach out to eBay and block that buyer. But there you go. There's a few examples of some scams to avoid. Again, I have to make these videos because I don't want people out there. I don't want new eBay sellers or even experienced eBay sellers. I don't want you falling for these common eBay scams. I see it all the time where it happens. People fall for these scams. They're sending payments outside of eBay, or they're sending their items and the payments are bouncing and they're losing out on the item and the money. And I don't want that happening to good people. So hopefully you don't mind me making this video. Thank you again to Payability for sponsoring this video. Keep in mind, again, guys, this is the $300 giveaway. So leave that comment and get entered to win the $300 giveaway. We'll announce the winner in the next video. The next two videos we put out, the next one's going to be a $400 giveaway. And then the next one after that is going to be the last one, which is a $1,000 giveaway. So make sure to subscribe to the channel. Hit the thumbs up button on this video if you don't mind. And if you know anybody who, is new to eBay and they need to hear this information, please feel free to share this video so that people can educate themselves on some common eBay scams. But thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate it. I'm Ralli Roots, and I'll see you on the next video. Love you all. Stay safe out there and don't fall for those scams. Peace out.